Hello, and welcome to the People's Clerk, the show where you, the citizens of Fulton County, can learn more about the different services available through the Superior Court Clerk's office and how those services relate to everyday issues that impact the life, the liberty, and the property of the people we serve. I am Kathleen Tina Robinson, your Fulton County Clerk of Superior Court. As you may know, a primary service that the clerk's office provides is the commissioning of Fulton County residents who qualify to become Georgia notaries. Our office also works closely with the Georgia Superior Court Clerks Cooperative Authority to ensure that each commissioned notary understands the importance of their duties and to provide them with the resources and training they need to successfully carry out their roles as public officers of trust. On today's show, I will speak with members of the Clerks Cooperative Authority to discuss an upcoming initiative that will provide an on-site training seminar. So if you're already a Fulton County notary or a citizen interested in becoming a notary, you won't want to miss that and much more when we return on the People's Clerk. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the People's Clerk. Today we are discussing the important role of becoming a Georgia notary, in addition to an upcoming training seminar that the Clerk's office will host in partnership with the Georgia Clerks Authority. Joining me today are Rachel Rice and Mike Smith, two highly experienced members of the Clerks Authority who have worked with our office to coordinate the upcoming training. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about yourselves and your role with the Clerks Authority.
I'm the Director of Communications, and within that role, part of what I do is things like this, the training. Rachel really does all the hard work and the leg work. I just show up and teach the classes, and she does as well. And so over the years, we've developed this really good relationship with clerks' offices on many subjects, but this particular one, dealing with notaries public, is really important at this time.
Well, and as Mike said, I'm the training coordinator, and I schedule these training classes and teach some of them. But Mike is really our notary expert, so I'm always grateful when he is willing to get out here and teach. And we work in conjunction with clerks' offices to do our best to help educate the public, especially as it relates to the notaries public.
And there are 159 counties, and you do a lot working with 159 clerks. That's a lot. That's a job in itself. But tell us, what is a notary, and what is the role of a notary?
A notary, at its essence, is a trusted third party, an objective third party that, in essence, is a person who's trying to prevent fraud. That is the number one goal of a notary, that whoever that person is coming before the notary is going to sign that document, that the notary is reasonably assured that that person is who they say they are. The public depends on that, not only with public records, which you deal with on a daily basis, but in the business sector as well, with documents that we never see.
Right, right. And what is the requirement for becoming a notary in Georgia?
To become a notary, there are 5 requirements. You have to be 18 years of age or older. You have to be a legal U.S. citizen or a legal U.S. resident. You have to be a legal resident of the county in which you are applying. You must provide an operating telephone number, and you must be able to read and write the English language.
Wow, okay. And are there any fees associated with becoming a notary?
There is. There's a $37 application fee. That is any county in which you apply. And if you are commissioned, then you also have to purchase a seal, which you can get from a local office supply company.
And the $37 does cover a 4-year commission. It's not an annual
Okay.
fee. Just make sure people don't understand that.
Right. Yeah, for the 4 years, and then they
Right.
must renew and then pay
Exactly.
that $37 again.
That's right.
Right.
Correct. Exactly. Yep.
Correct.
Tell us if I want to become a notary. Well, I am a notary. What could I charge someone? You talked earlier, Mike, about me being, the notary being a neutral party that's responsible to ensure that the person who's attesting to that transaction is actually that person.
Right.
So what can I charge for that service?
According to Georgia law, you're only allowed to charge $2 per notarial act, and that has been the Georgia law for as far back as we could find. There is a notary revision bill now that's in the Georgia House that would change that, but we don't know yet at this point if that's going to pass or not. So $2 is the maximum that someone could charge. Now, if you're asked, say, to travel, that'd be outside of that $2. You certainly could negotiate that with the party you're going to assist, but yeah.
Okay. So if I had to travel, because in Georgia, notaries can attest to transactions in any county.
That's right.
Throughout the state.
That's right. Exactly.
So if I was traveling from Fulton to Pike County, that would be a consideration, and would I and that person who I'm going to,
Sure.
As long as we agreed on that amount.
Exactly. I would have all of that negotiated before you even get in the car and go to Pike County, in the example you gave.
Right. Okay. And there is an application that each notary must complete before coming to our office and applying. Tell me about that process. If I'm just so excited about becoming a Georgia notary, what is my first step? And take me through that process.
Well, the first step to the application process is to go to the Fulton County Clerk's Authority website, fcclk.org.
Okay.
If you go to that website, there is a link that says Notary Public Application. You click on that link and it will take you to a Georgia Notary application page. And from there, you follow the instructions to fill out all the data. Everything's populated online. You input your data, and it'll generate a packet, a 3-page or 4-page document that you print out to bring into the clerk's office or to one of your satellite offices for processing. But prior to bringing it into the clerk's office, you need to make sure that you followed all the instructions, that the application has been notarized, if you have endorsers, that they've signed it, and that you have the proper method of payments, which all of that is detailed on the instruction page of the application.
Okay. And can you state that website again for our viewers, for them to go to?
Certainly. It's www.fcclk.org.
Okay. All right. As clerk, because as you mentioned earlier, the person who wants to become a notary must go to the county where they reside. And if that person went through everything you just described and they have that information on the application, and I say, well, I'm not going to approve the commission as clerk, or I wouldn't do that, but if any clerk does that, if the clerk does that, what can that person do? Do they have any other alternatives?
Well, they do. If you deny or revoke a commission, they do have a right to appeal that revocation or denial. They would do that with your office, actually. And then if they still don't agree with that, they do have a right to a non-jury trial before a judge if they want to take it that far.
Okay. And they would go to they would petition in that county?
They would.
Right. Okay. All right. As it relates to any complaints, when citizens complain about a notary who has not done what is required of them, what process do you have in place at the authority? Have you seen that? Is that throughout the state? What do you see?
We do. We do receive complaints from the general public, and our role is not to discipline notaries. So, if, for instance, we got a complaint about a Fulton County notary, we'd refer it to your office. However, doesn't mean that we can't educate and that type of thing. The most common thing we hear about, it really is just lack of a better term, ignorance of the law, which is no excuse. But since in Georgia, education and/or passing an exam is not required.
Right.
And by the way, that is unfortunately the majority of states. There are less than 10 states in the country that require one or the other or both. So that's why we think it's very important that we have put together these seminars for the general public. We've done over the years training directly for your office, I say your office, all clerks, and their employees. But this type of training for the general public is new.
Right.
And so it's been very well received so far.
And I think it's important. I'm looking forward to it. I think that again, because there is no law that requires it, even though this is going to be voluntary, I think it's important that each notary who is commissioned and those who are considering becoming a notary, that they really come to this training and take advantage of those resources because their role is so important as a notary public.
Most people become notaries because of where they work. They get a job somewhere, and someone says, "Hey, we need a notary on staff." Right. So they pay their $37. They get the commission certificate, and then they go get their seal. And now what?
Right.
And so hopefully we can fill in some blanks with this training.
Great. Well, we're going to take a break. When we return from break, we will continue our discussion with Ms. Rice and Mr. Smith about upcoming Fulton County Notary training and how this training will benefit you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Before we went to break, we were discussing the importance of notaries in our community and our upcoming partnering initiative. Well, again, I am excited about this training. So can you tell our viewers what this training will consist of?
Well, we will take people from the beginning through where they are now. As Rachel mentioned before about the application process, because we'll have a mix of people that have been notaries and some that are interested in becoming a notary. So we'll cover that. And then we will talk about the law itself. The law is readily available to anyone that wants to search online. We bring that to people's attention. Hopefully they get something out of that. But we also look at it from a best practice standpoint because a lot of statutes leave a lot of gray areas, especially notary law. And so notary law does not speak to many of the situations that a person may run into as a notary. So a lot of best practice discussion, Q&A session, and that type of thing. We've done this for a couple of counties previously, and it was interesting that after the classes, we always had people come up that had been longtime notaries and say, "Wow, I didn't know that," or "I really learned something today." So it's been beneficial for them and for us too. Right.
And when people are commissioned in our office, we provide a handbook. You have online training at the Clerk's Authority. Tell us, how would this training be different from what they can get online?
Well, the training online is, because it's online, it's more generic. It speaks to some of the same things, but and I'm a big advocate of training regardless of the avenue, whether it be online, webinars, or in person. In-person training, though, inherently has some things that you can't get online, which is just the interaction of the people in the class. The material is the material, and we go through that. But the best part to me is when folks there talk to each other and say, I ran into that as well, and here's what I did. That's what we really like to see.
Right. And you mentioned earlier, too, that a notary sometimes want the commission because it's a part of their job requirement that they become a notary. Can you please explain to our viewers that even though it is a part of their job, it is still their commission, and what that means if on their job they're asked to do something that is in conflict with what they're learned from you and what the law requires them to do?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the most difficult part that we've heard from folks is where they're placed in a tough spot. They are asked to do something that they know either violates the law or certainly is a gray area. We were doing a training for a law firm last year, and the gentleman approached us after the class, and he had been asked to do something by a superior that clearly was not right.
Mm-hmm.
Our advice to him was to seek out their HR person because he didn't really know where to turn.
Okay.
Because it wasn't an issue where he'd contact the clerk's office, your office, because he had not done anything wrong, but he was
Right.
been put in a tough spot. So we are all kinds of things like that.
Mm-hmm. And you just advise them.
If it's large, I realize small businesses don't have HR offices.
Right, yeah.
But there needs to be a discussion with someone.
Right.
And so that's what we advise.
Okay, all right. And will there be a cost for this training, this great training we're going to have? Will there be a cost for the participants?
There is no cost for this training. We have been able to work in closely with the Superior Court Clerk's office to be able to provide this as a free service to the public, and we're very grateful for the clerks being so willing to host and to spread the word, so that all we have to do is show up and do the training.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I like about it. You know, it's free.
Yeah.
So, just come, get this very important information, and we want not just for our notaries to come in and listen and get the information, but once you get the information that you actually do what you have learned, implement those things that what you have learned. What do you think anyone should bring? You know, they're going to come and come to the class. Is there anything they need to bring with them?
Well, be ready to ask questions. You know, please, any questions that you may have, situations you've come across, just anything, come with a mind ready to learn, ready to expand and grow. Definitely ready to interact, because that, as Mike referenced earlier, that really makes a good training.
Right.
Is when there's good interaction with the audience.
And people are welcome to take notes, however that might be pencil and paper, whether they bring their iPad or the laptop or smartphone, whatever it may be, that's fine with us, but as long as they take the information back with them is the most important thing.
Right. So but there's nothing they need to do to prepare, just come, or would you suggest they do anything to prepare?
I would say come with an open mind, because especially those folks that have been notaries for many years.
Yes.
And the most common thing is, and you hear this too, and you're also, well, we do that because that's the way we've always done it. Doesn't make it right, but that's the way we've always done it.
Right.
And so hopefully we'll get some of those folks as well.
Right, right. And tell us, why do you feel so strongly, I feel strongly, but why do you feel so strongly that this training is needed? Because it's new. It's new. Like you said, we have been commissioning notaries for years.
We have, and it's important for several reasons. It is it's a position of public trust. People don't realize that. And then we saw a lot, not just I say we, also across the whole country, when we had the recession, which obviously the big part of that was the real estate market bottoming out. There were a lot of worse than bad practices, illegal practices going on in the foreclosure business that involved notaries.
Right.
Most of the time they knew about it, and sometimes they didn't know about it. Someone was just signing on their behalf. So it's important because a notary, until it happens, until it adversely affects someone, that transaction, no one pays attention.
Right.
But a notary really can cause harm to someone, either knowingly or willingly, The willingly part, we have the criminal
Right, or
system handle
unknown.
that part.
Yeah, right, yeah,
right.
yeah.
But the unknowingly, just because a person is not familiar with the law,
Right.
that's what we're trying to get to.
Right, right. And the time for this training, the time of the day, because some people work, so we want to let them know the time in which this training will take place.
We'll actually be doing 2 classes. We're offering one in the morning from 10:30 a.m. to noon, and then we'll do a second class in the afternoon from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Okay, and they can come to either class?
They can come to either class.
No need to register, just come.
That sounds great.
Exactly. We've had some people that wanted to come to both of them, and I said, you really don't have to do that. It's just a repeat, but yeah.
Right, right.
One or the other.
Well, we're running out of time, so please give us your final thoughts about notaries and how important this is for our communities.
I just encourage people to take advantage of this offering. It's new. It is a place where people come together, and you can ask the questions, and there are no stupid questions.
Right, right.
Feel comfortable in a group of your peers, and we've had people from lending institutions, attorneys' offices, just the retired person that had a commission in their work life and kept it after they retired. We've had all types of people across all demographics. So just come ready with open mind and ready to learn.
Okay, Rachel.
Well, I'm really excited about this training. What we've done so far has been well received, and I'm really excited about the large outreach in Fulton County.
Absolutely.
And so I really think it would be a wonderful program to attend, and it is free.
Yeah,
So
it's
don't
free.
be shy.
Right,
Come on down.
right. And we want to pack the house, as they say.
Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you all so much for coming and sharing this information.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
We are going to take a brief intermission and allow you time to get your pens and your pads handy, because when we return, I will share our office contact information and my final thoughts. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'd like to thank our guests, Rachel Rice and Mike Smith of the Georgia Superior Court Clerks Cooperative Authority, for joining us today and providing such valuable information regarding Georgia notaries. I would also like to applaud the Clerks Authority for partnering with our office, as well as other clerks' offices throughout the state, to assist us in assuring that Georgia notaries remain equipped and knowledgeable about their responsibilities as public officers in our communities. On average, our office swears in nearly 3,000 notaries annually, each with the primary responsibility of acting as an impartial witness to transactions in effort to ensure validity and to deter fraud. Government agencies, businesses, and the public at large rely on the accuracy and integrity of notary publics. It is my pleasure to host a training initiative that will hopefully provide them with the information and confidence needed to successfully carry out their duties. Should you need to contact our office regarding becoming a notary or participating in the upcoming training seminar, we are located at 136 Pryor Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303. We also have 3 Fulton County service centers to assist you. We can also be reached at 404-613-5313, or please visit our website at www.fultonclerk.org. We take pride in assisting every Fulton County resident in every way that we can, because we believe in doing the right thing, the right way, each time for every customer. I am Kathleen Tina Robinson, and I am the People's Clerk. See you next time.